Looking for the best vlogging camera you can buy? We've tested all of the best options for videographers and boiled down our findings into this in-depth guide. If you're more interested in finding the best vlogging camera, check out our dedicated guide for that. Whether you're a novice videographer or a seasoned camera wielder, there are several factors to consider when deciding the best vlogging camera for you. You'll want a model that's compact enough to carry around all day long, while also offering the performance you need to capture top quality footage and audio. And don't forget useful features such as articulating screens, external mic inputs and Wi-Fi connectivity. Certain aspects might also be decisive depending on your style of shooting. If you want to make quick, off-the-cuff recordings, go for a smaller, more portable model. Alternatively, if full creative control is important, try a premium mirrorless or DSLR camera. And if you're an all-action traveler, pick something rugged. Vlogging has become so popular that camera manufacturers are starting to make cameras specifically designed for the task. We have covers the best vlogging cameras that have been released this year, as well as a handful of older models that now promise excellent value, so you can be sure you'll find exactly the right camera for you. If you have not subscribed to our channel, subscribe it and press the bell icon for more updates. Number 1. Sony ZV-1. For a long time, the Canon G7X Mark III was our favorite compact vlogging camera, but it's just been knocked off its perch by the excellent Sony ZV-1. By combining all of the best bits of Sony's RX100 series, for example, the RX107's microphone port and autofocus, plus the RX100 VS bright 24 to 70mm f, the ZV-1 really nails what most people want from a small vlogging camera. Sony's latest real-time tracking and IAF are the best around, and the ZV-1 also has a huge amount of depth for a compact camera, including a built-in ND filter and profiles like S-Log2 for those who want to embrace color grading. We still think the Olympus OMD EM5 Mark III stabilization and image quality are better still, but you won't find a finer pocket vlogging camera than the Sony ZV-1. It is the best compact vlogging camera around. Number 2. Fujifilm X-T4. If video quality is your priority, then it's hard to beat the Fujifilm X-T4 as a vlogging all-rounder. Sure, some full-frame cameras can still edge it for dynamic range and high ISO performance, but it's not a huge gap, and the X-T4 offers a smaller overall setup that's ideal for travel. One of the best hybrid shooters around, the X-T4 brings significant upgrades on the X-T3 that include in-body image stabilization, a bigger battery and improved autofocus. The latter is quick and reliable for both stills and video, though you'll preferably want to use it with some of Fujifilm's more recent glass, like the XF1680mm f4ROIS, for the best results. With a microphone input, front-facing screen, weather sealing and the ability to shoot cinema 4K videos up to 60 fps. The X-T4 is a great all-round vlogging option for those who want a camera that can take care of both their stills and video needs. Number 3. Sony A7 III. The Alpha A7 III sits on the bottom rung of Sony's full-frame mirrorless camera range, and is designed to appeal to both keen enthusiast photographers and professionals. In the past, the A7 series of cameras have always felt like poor relations to the A7R and A7S series. While the latter two ranges have tended to capture the limelight with their high pixel counts and advanced video capabilities, the A7 cameras have always been regarded as the basic models, sporting a solid but unremarkable set of features. That looks like it could all change with this third-generation A7 camera. Borrowing many features from the top-of-the-range Alpha A9, as well as the Alpha A7R III, the Alpha A7 III looks anything but basic. The Alpha A7 III is a brilliant camera that ticks a lot of boxes for many photographers. Sony has taken some of the best bits from its flagship Alpha A9 and A7R III, and distilled them into a single camera that offers a fantastic mix of performance and image quality. For the price, there's nothing that can touch it. Sony say that no longer the poor relation. Number 4. Panasonic Lumix G7. Replacing the Panasonic G6, the G7 sits beneath the Panasonic GH4 in the company's lineup of compact system cameras. It's the smaller of the two SLR-like models, and is aimed at enthusiast photographers. It sits alongside the rectangular Panasonic GX7, and above the GF7, GM1, and GM5. Every Panasonic interchangeable lens camera briefing recently seems to have started with the words "it's got the same sensor as the GX7, and that's also the case with the G7. This means the new camera has the same resolution as the camera it replaces, 16 MP, but the sensor is newer, albeit still 2 years old. This sensor is coupled with the Venus Engine 9 processing engine found in the GH4 and, according to Panasonic, this combination produces the best image quality of any Panasonic camera. It also enables a native sensitivity range of ISO 200 to 25600, with a low expansion setting of ISO 100. The G6 has a native range of ISO 160 to 12800, with an expansion setting of 25600. While the G7's design and build may lack the excitement of cameras like the Fuji X-T10, it has a very well-rounded feature set, with a high-quality OLED viewfinder, a vari-angle touchscreen and Wi-Fi connectivity. Number 5. Canon EOS 90D. A few years ago, the Canon EOS 80D was one of the best cameras around for anyone who needed a mid-range snapper that could go beyond basic shooting without adding pro-level complexity. In fact, it's still a perfectly solid DSLR even today, but in order to make the series relevant in the age of mirrorless cameras, Canon has built something more modern to fill its considerable shoes. That camera is the Canon EOS 90D, perhaps the last enthusiast-level DSLR the company will ever make. Launched alongside the Canon EOS M6 Mark II, the 90D plays the traditional strengths of DSLRs. Good handling, long battery life, optical viewfinder, but adds some pretty cutting-edge specs. This includes a new sensor that brings a lot more megapixels than the 80D, 32.5 MP, compared to 24.2 MP, which is helpful for cropping images, plus Canon's latest imaging engine. Like its predecessor, the new camera is user-friendly, with a price tag that's also pocket-friendly. It's on shelves for $1,199 or $1,959, matching the launch price of the 80D in the US. This makes it a tempting all-rounder for ambitious beginners and experienced enthusiasts who need a camera that can handle a variety of shooting situations. In short, with the 90D, Canon has proven that DSLRs aren't quite ready to kick the bucket yet. From this 90D, Canon proves that DSLRs still have a place in a mirrorless age. Number 6. Panasonic Lumix G85. The G85 is Panasonic's mid-level all-arounder. It is very much a refinement of the Panasonic G7, which is still an impressively capable camera, but one that does not reach its full potential due to the issue of shutter shock. The G85 effectively eliminates shutter shock by switching to a new electromagnetic shutter mechanism and using more magnesium alloy in the body construction as opposed to plastic. It also has a new electronic first curtain shutter mode with no noise penalty, but more on that below. Additionally, the G85 gains weather sealing and 5-axis image stabilization, which gave us an average of 3.5 stops of added stability. Both of these upgrades make an already tempting camera line all that much more appealing. Number 7. Olympus OMD EM5 Mark III. The Olympus OMD EM5 Mark III is a 20MP Micro Four Thirds camera aimed at enthusiast photographers, but could be a good option for beginners that want a system to grow into. It features the same sensor, AF system, and 4K video capture as the flagship EM1 II and EM1X, in a considerably smaller, lighter package. It's the first in the EM5 line to offer on-sensor phase detect autofocus, which includes both face and eye detection modes. The updated AF system is complemented by a 10 fps max burst rate in AFC. The camera also gets a new image stabilization system, an updated EVF and some small ergonomic improvements. Hope you like the video. If you have any suggestion about best vlogging camera, tell us in comment section. Subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for more updates.